Monroeville resident. I just had a couple questions. We got the budget coming up, and I'm not hearing a lot about it. But I might be wrong, but I heard that the directive went out to the department heads to lay off 2 people from every department, including the police department. I don't know if that's true or not. I was asking, is that true?
An email did go out on that effect. I'll tell you the truth on that.
Okay. So then my question is not that we don't need it, but why are we hiring 4 new police officers next week? Of those 4, do they know that 2 of them are going to get laid off?
Well, Paul, if I had an answer for you that, because you know this has been on a controversy up here that we wanted to hold off, at least the minority did, on the hiring, but it's just to figure out what we're at on our 2013 budget. But
so
again, the manager has the authority to do the hiring.
Right. So
as long as the 4 majority backer, there's no issue with that.
Okay. So I did a little research with the Institute for Research on Labor and Employment. It's out of Cal Berkeley. Do you know what it costs to hire a person?
Yes, roughly.
Roughly. Between $4,000 and $7,000.
That's correct.
Up to 1.9% of that person's gross salary. So let's go on the low end and just say it's $4,000. That's 4,000 times 4. Knowing 8,000 of that is going to go out the window because we're going to lay them back off. So do you know what it costs to then lay a person off and pay the unemployment?
Substantial.
Right. So
Mr. Caliari, are you familiar with the fact that we lost 10 police officers to retirement this year?
This has nothing, no implications at all. Miss am I allowed to speak to Miss McKinney? You should be addressing it to me. This is a budgetary question that I'm speaking of. If Monroeville had enough money, Miss McKinney, whoever I'm talking to at this point, I would put 80 police on the police force. Since you mentioned it, I'm talking about poor business practices. Poor business practices. Please don't try to spin this.
Well, once we lost the 10 this year, and then we're going to lose 7 next year, how would you like me to staff the patrol unit?
My question is simple. If you send out a directive, you're going to lay off 2 from each department, including the police department.
That was
Why
not
would you
the
hire
directive.
4?
That was not the directive.
Okay, then I stand corrected.
The email went out, and I'll make sure it's very clear. 1 from every department, 2 from the police department, and 2 from Public Works.
So
was the original email went out.
Okay. So we'll just go with gray business practices at this point. It's bad business.
What part of it is bad business? I'm not kind of.
If you hire 4, knowing you're going to lay off 2.
Well,
it's simple mathematics.
Possibly you just don't replace 2 that are retiring in January of next year. But if you don't replace them now, what do you do with your overtime?
Financial implication. I can actually business. If you're asking me, let me sit down with your books. And I'll organize the police department. That's not a problem because right now you are not doing a good job of it. If you want to get aggressive about this, I can get extremely aggressive about this. I was asking the mayor a question. I was addressing the mayor. You chose to address me.
Right.
Poor business practices.
I wanted to give you the factual information.
Did you send out an email or didn't you? You're going to lay them off or aren't you? I'm not talking about retirement. I'm talking about simple business
please
practices.
direct it back to me. I mean, we want to stay in control.
Can I comment on?
Steve, please.
I know it was a month ago that I asked that if it would be possible that we could do a hiring freeze just until we get this 2013 budget under control, which from what all understandings, we're $600,000 short for this year. I'm not talking about next year. God bless you when you come on board there. The following day, 2 more officers were hired. You know, it's a shame because some of these guys are working for different communities or the city or wherever, the state. They're coming to Monroeville because Monroeville is the highest paid in the state, and I can't blame them for that. I hate to see them move their family here and then be laid off. It's almost a shame. Now, if we're going to wait till next year, as Mrs. McKinney suggested, for the new retirements, how are we going to make it this year? This year is my concern right now. That's all I have.
Well, go ahead.
That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.